All right, so under the hood, there's no engine. Whoo, whoo, 6-puck sprung, baby.
What's going on, everybody? Mike here, AHC Garage. Welcome back to the channel. Today we have NAM's 1991 Acura NSX here in the shop, and John's going to do a walk around and talk about the car and some of the stuff that we're doing today.
So as Mike just told you guys, we have NAM's NA1 over here. It's a 91, it's got about 93,000 miles on it. And when he first bought this car about 7-8 years ago, it was bone stock. It was a little bit rough, and we gave this car the business. And this was even before we were making videos. So this was just a car in our shop, and we did everything. We replaced the AC evaporator. We did all the maintenance underneath the hood. We've done a ton of work to this. But right now we're going to show you some of the stuff that it has on it right now. And so first thing we did is we took the front bumper off. We repainted the front bumper. It had a lot of rock chips. We painted this front lip as well. It had an AC issue, like I had said, with the evaporator. We also changed one condenser. On the outside here, you can see it has a really nice set of gloss black CE28s in a double staggered setup. Also has, I believe these are downforce O2 style-ish, but more aggressive side skirts. We painted those as well. Other than that, the paint is very original. It's had a lot paint correction done on it, but there's still some things on the top here where it's black, where the side pieces here, you can see the clears off a little bit, but these are all things that can be handled down the road. She's not perfect, but she gets driven. Also back here we have some carbon fiber components such as this intake. I believe this is from Pride Carbon, and we also have the carbon fiber NSX R style wing, just similar to the one I have on my car. On the back, he has a pretty aggressive diffuser. This one eliminates the factory lower portion and has this really cool carbon fiber one. It also has a Pride V2 exhaust on it. I believe this is NSXR, maybe NA2 NSXR, if I'm not mistaken. You know, a little stubby, cute little, you know, antenna delete there. It's not the size that matters. Other than what you have there, that's pretty much what we have on the outside. And on the inside, we have some really cool stuff, such as these brand new Mugen reclinable bucket seats on here. These things are real nice. These were recently released. They're sitting on some low profile bride rails, so at least your head isn't touching. They're pretty big. They come pretty close to the top. Not many seats sit as low as the factory NSX seats because they're designed to give you as much headroom as possible. He also has the Mugen Racing 3 steering wheel in leather with red stitching. If I'm not mistaken, that was a King Motorsports US release only in that finish. The Japanese model Racing 3 came in suede. Also, Mugen shift knob, and I believe an NSX Type S or Type R shift boot on there. A really cool little cup holder that a guy makes for this. Gives you a little bit more room. These cars don't come with those. Also, the car has Zanardi floor mats. You can tell they're Zanardi because they're red and black. And not too much more in the inside. Kept it pretty simple, but for the most part, it's a very clean car, very well taken care of. All right, so under the hood, there's no engine because it's mid-engine. Under here, we have a coil rad radiator, much like the one that we put on my car. Actually exactly like it. And the other cool thing on this is this has the Mita Motorsports O2 ABS upgrade on it. Very awesome system. We've done a video or two on that before. And this is the crowning part of it, is the Mugen socks. They're very hard to come by, but that's it right there. So for the most part, and also NSXR. Or no, not even NSXR, that's just JDM NSX. They came color matched. Sometimes I know what I'm talking about, sometimes I don't. All right, so now under the hatch, not quite the hood, is the engine. So this is a 3-liter dual overhead cam VTEC C30 motor specific to the NSX. It's basically 2 3-cylinder B series heads fit to a very high degree V motor. Titanium connecting rods, but this one is stock. And even that being stock, it's fun to drive. It's not over powerful at all. It's not even really that fast, but it's a good balance of power. And with the weight over the wheels the way it is, the car handles incredibly. It's one of the key features of this car that makes it very desirable for people. So under here, just basic dress up stuff. We pointed out this intake here. This is like a scoop for cooling, shoots air into the engine. This is a NSXR style carbon fiber cover. This here is the NSXR, I call it a condom. It goes over top of your coolant reservoir, and the idea is that the NSXR has a mesh. So this is to protect the sun from beating up the reservoir and drying it out. This is a NA2 middle cover here. We have a Mugen oil cap, and for the most part, that's all that's there. But that being said, is when this car came here before, all the maintenance was done, all the seals were replaced on it, every single thing has been done to it, including the clutch. Now that's weird because the car is here for a clutch. Well, the clutch that we put in the car is a Exetti Hyper single clutch, and it is very aggressive. It is unsprung, it is not fun to drive. So what we'll be doing is installing the Science of Speed 275 clutch on here and diagnosing the AC concerns on the car. So seeing as you guys just saw a video that we recently put out on my clutch on my car, pretty much the same thing, we're going to kind of glance through that. But that's the car, and we're going to be doing some pretty cool maintenance to it, and we're going to try and show you guys a different perspective on the work. We got the car up in the air and we're getting ready to work on it, so we'll just go over a couple of things down here. Underneath here you can see, as far as the suspension goes, it has a set of Tane monos. These are really nice. They're the same ones I have on my car, and also some stainless steel brake lines. Pretty simple, nothing too crazy up front here. But back this way, we have a set of DC Sports headers, and I believe these are high flow cats, and you guys saw the exhaust. You get a little bit better look at the diffuser on here. Pretty cool setup. And what we're going to be doing underneath the car, it's going to be pulling this bad boy out and swapping the clutch out. So you've seen it before from us, and we're going to do it again. So let's start ripping this thing apart. Woo.
Ready?
The release bearing. Oh, there we go.
Okay, come on. One, two, three.
This is an Exetti Hyper single. It's a very nice clutch setup. It's just a little too aggressive for what we're going for. Drivability is more important to the customer. So you can see this thing it's a whole entire clutch kit, you know, beautiful anodized cover, lightweight aluminum flywheel. Not a bad clutch, just the engagement is way too aggressive for what the customer wants. So we're gonna pop this thing off and get the SOS clutch on it ASAP. Whoo, 6 puck sprung, baby. All right, so here's the Exetti Hyper Single Clutch setup. It runs a 6-puck sprung hub. So this sprung hub, it will allow some give in the clutch when it goes to engage in these springs. The hub is separated from here, so this is supposed to give you smoother engagement. I don't know if these springs are just really aggressive or this is a full metallic material, but the engagement on this clutch is way too aggressive. It could also be a very heavy pressure plate. This is your pressure plate, this is our release bearing, and here's our flywheel. And what you can see on here are these hot spots. And this is from having to ride the clutch in order to get it to engage smoothly, and not necessarily from improper driving. It's just this clutch in general, you had to ride it to get to move off without it feeling horribly. So next up, you're gonna see the replacement we're gonna put in, and we'll do a little compare contrast on weight on it and what everything looks like. Also, the customer came in with a concern about the AC not working well. We found a leak right up here at this connection, so we're gonna swap these O-rings out and start from there. Hopefully that fixes it. And also, this is the original R12 compressor on the car. There's a Denso available from Rock Auto, so we're gonna go ahead and swap out the compressor as well. And we already got it down, so all we have to do is do a little work on the bench now.
Oh,
got it. So we got our Denso from Rock Auto replacement compressor. The good thing is this car comes with a Denso compressor from the factory, so this is pretty much a factory replacement. We have to swap over the upper manifold here, and it comes with new gaskets and everything for that. And then we're gonna go ahead and throw it on. Brand new clutch and coil, everything comes gapped and set up, ready to go. Factory Honda plug, even the little thing here to keep the wire in place. So pretty awesome replacement. I hope these never run out because we change these things a lot, because there's a lot of R12s, because every single 91 and 92, which are the highest production years of the NSX, have an R12 compressor. So now we have a 134. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing back up in the car and bolt it up and move on to the clutch. Just so we get a feel for the difference in weight, we have the old clutch setup, including the bolts and release bearing, and we're going to compare it to the new SOS 275. $29.6 pounds. Oh yeah, this is lighter. 26.6, so that's a pretty significant weight difference. We never weighed the stock clutch, but I'm sure it's documented somewhere. But let alone that's a pretty decent weight reduction on the clutch, so he's probably going to feel a pretty nice difference in the car. Well, now that we got the weight squared away, let's go ahead and put it in the car so we can get this car going. Oh, look at that. All right, so we got everything up top done. We have to bleed the clutch. We're going to do that right now before we put the subframe in. It's not necessary, but it's a little bit easier. And then we'll refill the transmission, and then we'll be pretty much done after we slap everything back together underneath there, and then time for the wheels. I think we're good.
Oh yeah, we good. solid. And here's another look at this beautiful interior with a perfect clutch.
Beep. 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 All right, so we got the new compressor on. We replaced the leaking O-rings on it, and we got the proper belt on the AC compressor now. So now we're hooking the machine up, and we're gonna put a nice deep vacuum on it and get this thing going. That sounded really bad. I don't know what that noise was. So now it's time for the wheels and tires, and what we have here straight from King Motorsports is the re-release of the NSX spec MF10s. And they're very beautiful forged wheels. We're gonna open them up in a second, and we're gonna pair them up to these Falcons right here. And I think it's gonna be a pretty nice setup. Let's get these things open so you can see what they look like. All right, so here we have the new MF10s, this beautiful NSX specific double staggered spec. So in the front here, we have a 17 by 8.5 with a plus 40 offset. And that's gonna be paired up to, what is this? A 215 40 17 Volk RT615, classic tire as well. And then the rear, which is a really beefy spec right here, is 18 by 10.5 with a 45 offset, and we're pairing that with a 275 35 18. This will be a real aggressive looking setup on here, but it's also going to have that sporty look. And before the car had what are they, all black CE28s. So this, I think, with the bronze, with the anodized lip and the matte finish, is going to give the car beautiful contrast and kind of make it pop a lot more. So let's go ahead and get them mounted up and balanced and slap them on the car. It was actually pretty cheap. All right, so we got the wheels mounted up. They sit beautifully on here. We have our black center caps for it. We put those on. And to mount them onto the car, we have a set of Mugen lug nuts. Beautiful setup. This will complete the whole package, but before we put these on, we're going to go ahead and charge the AC up and get that all ready. Slap the wheels on, alignment, and this thing's out the door.
Here we go.
All right, so we're ready to charge the AC. Mike, fire it up.
And while we're charging the AC, I'm going to go ahead to adjust the clock. There you go, 8:15.
All right, well, that's it. We're good to go with this. Wheels on the car, alignment, a good test drive, and this thing's ready to romp.
So here we have our Mugen MF10. Before we throw them on the car, we want to go ahead and get these things protected and coated. And JC is wiping the wheels down now with some wax and grease remover, and we'll be applying Turbo Wax ceramic coating boosted 2.0 right over here. We used this product before. It is a fantastic product. So now I think we pretty much finished cleaning it up, wiping it down, making sure that all the grease is out of the wheel so we get a perfect coating on the wheel. Just a few dabs there. And as easy as this.
All right, so we're ready to put them on. We went ahead and coated the wheels with the ceramic coating from Turbo Wax. And no joke, it really helps bring the shine out in here. And it's also gonna help protect it from brake dust and make it a lot easier to clean. And so that these lips don't get damaged from any kind of brake dust or the metal that gets caught up from the brake dust. So we're ready to put them on, so let's slap it on. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Very good looking.
John, we gotta get a set for your car.
No, I'm too cheap.
Oh, that's pretty good, John.
All right, so everything's dialed in. It wasn't too far out. The only thing that was out the most is the rear, because we removed all the control arms and the camber bolts and rear tie bars. So we dialed that in, and then we just touched a little bit of toe in the front, and this thing's ready to go, ready for a test drive, and on its way, ready for the next car. Nice.
So what do you think, John?
So, I think it's incredible. The clutch, just like when we put it on mine, it is a pleasure to drive. Before, the clutch was very aggressive, and it really was like, am I going to stall this car out or not? And this one is a pleasure. And these, the wheels feel awesome. I must say that. But the AC is piping cold. And I think our customer's going to be mighty happy. Yeah, I know I'm a little jealous. I really love the wheels. But on this is it for this one. We have a ton more. My Civic hatch is coming into the shop right after this one. And we have much more, including Brian's Accord and Brian's DC5. So you guys make sure that you like, follow, subscribe, drop us a comment. Let us know how we're doing. Ask us some questions, because we do this for you guys. And we'll be back with the next one.